chat. You can directly click on it and register yourself. Great. So since enough amount of people have joined for us to share the special announcement that we have been dying to tell you, we are giving away the Lovable Pro at the end of the session. So I suggest you all to please stay till the end, be attentive in the session, engage with us, right? The chat is always open to you. You can drop your comments, you can drop your suggestions, ask any of your doubts. And we are giving away the exclusive promotional code for 1 month pro access of Lovable Pro, which can enhance your powerful development in the hackathon. You can ace your skills. You can build powerful things with using AI. And mind it, this pro subscription costs $25, but we are giving it for completely free, but only for our participants today who attend the session till the end. So please stay with us till the very end of this session. It is a very good reason for you to stay. So today we are having this session to further instruct you on the tech sprint. We are organizing the hackathon. We are organizing GDGOC LDC, and also we are organizing this session in the expert series we are planned. This is the episode 1, Hack and Learn, with our guest speaker Krishna N. Mehta, currently software engineer at Visa, and she has years of experience in this field. She's going to share insights with us for you to master your AI and ace this tech sprint, win the tech sprint. Great. So without further ado, I would like to hand over to Shalvi. So please take us here.
Right. Hey, everyone. So, firstly, I would like to welcome each and every one of you, as well, Krishna ma'am also. Before we start, can we have a short introduction, ma'am, of yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here. So I'm working at Visa currently as a software developer, and it's been around 2 years now working at Visa. And before that, I've done a lot of internships at different companies. And yeah, it's the best time to be an engineer, I would say. So excited for this session. We can begin.
So, we are going to step into the most interesting segment of this session, where every hackathon participant needs to hear this. So, ma'am, I would like to ask some questions every beginner have in their mind. And the toughest moment for most participants is the very beginning, the ideation stage. So, in an open innovation hackathon, options are like endless. So, deciding becomes harder than building. So, in that, how do you pick any idea which is like most meaningful and realistic to finish it fast?
Okay, this is a very open-ended question, but I will tell you some ideas that I usually use. So, coming to how to choose an idea, firstly, you need to think about what is the timeline of your hackathon. According to that, you need to sit and brainstorm the ideas around 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks, shall we?
Yes, 1 week of ideation phase and 1 week of development phase.
Okay, so you guys have 1 week to ideate, which is a lot of time, which is amazing. So in that 1 week, what I would do if I were you would be this. Firstly, think about things that you really passionate about, or think about the pain point you face as a student in your college. Maybe an automation for, keeping the attendance of the college. This is just an example. Or maybe I saw some of the students from other table about ideas which are out of the box, which are currently not there. So once you get that starting point, and if you're not getting ideas, this is a big problem too. I sometimes wouldn't get ideas. Go on the internet. So there are a lot of places which conduct hackathons, right? So you can see what winning teams are doing. So once you see what winning teams are doing, you can take an inspiration from the idea, and you can take it more forward. Like on the top of that, you can build more features. So you can at least get a base from, you know, checking out other winning teams. So that would be one way to get an idea. And the other way would be obviously like your students, what are the issues that you're facing? Try to solve them. Or what are the issues that teachers might be facing? Try to solve them. So this is a little bit of how to choose an idea. But once you choose an idea, you also need to think about, is it really feasible to finish it in the given development time? So to check the feasibility, you need to sit and discuss among your teammates, talk it out. If one of the teammates says that, I want to implement all the features, that's not a good idea. You need to choose like one core feature, and then make it work from the starting user flow till the end. So choose one core feature and try to implement that. So that comes about feasibility. But then you also need to have a basic knowledge about how you can implement this idea. If it's something like a machine learning algorithm, you can't sit and learn machine learning from scratch, right? In the hackathon. So you should at least know like 50%. 50% is a lot, but 20-30% of it. Suppose it's a web development, you should be knowing HTML, CSS, and then maybe if you also know React, that's a plus. So that much, if you know the remaining features and functionalities, you can definitely implement. So it should be something feasible. I think that should basically help you to finalize an idea. And also, there's this one thing that I always felt in hackathons is that your idea needs to be like extremely crazy. Not really. It needs to just solve one pain point. If it is useful for at least 5 customers, it's a great idea. Just go for it. You don't have to think about something which is extremely like you have never seen it anywhere or something like that. It just have to solve a problem for 5 people. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Like that's a really clear direction. Ma'am, as you have mentioned that we have a member in a team who wants to
Mm.
do like each and everything. So how
Mm.
to choose the teammates? This is the most
Yeah.
common question every participant gets. Yes.
So yes, definitely choosing teammates is one of the hardest part of the hackathon. I would say don't go for choosing just your friends. Try to look for people. So suppose you personally might be a front-end developer. So now you need a back-end developer. You need a person who takes scope. So scope is really important. You can't decide that, okay, we're going to do 3 features and then later on scope. So you need one person who acts like a product manager sort of thing. So that is one more. So there's front end, back end, product manager. You need someone who can pitch really well, who gives great presentations. So you need totally 4 types of different people. Now, if you're a front end developer, you need to scout for people like back end developers, and then the pitching person who will give the presentation, and the scoper who will also help you out in coding, but also take care of the management side and sticking to the scope. And we're only focusing on the features that we discussed. So to find teammates in your own circle would be slightly not so great. So I would say go talk to everyone in your batch. Is this an open hackathon like all the year students are allowed, or is it? Um,
Yes. No, everyone can participate.
Yeah, so I think then you definitely go and talk to more people. And if you do have like a campus level Discord, we used to have in our college. So if you do have, then on that also you can ask that you're looking for a backend developer, and and then there is also this big thing about how do you really know that they know backend. For that, I would say that see if they have done any projects before, or see if they know like basic concepts of creating an API, like the post, delete, all those API endpoints. Those are like the basics that you can check. And if you really don't find someone who is backend focused, just try to find someone who quickly learns things. Because now that we have AI, we need people who know how to use AI and use it for creating things. I think if you know the basic programming language, I'm sure all of you can use AI to uh, create projects. So just see that they know basic programming and all of that. So that should be good. Um, One more thing I would say is people that you shouldn't make as teammates would be someone who would say, let's just chill right now and we will build the app in the last one day. Or people who are like, I can code up the app completely in 2 hours, so I'll just chill. Just don't try to find people like that. Find people who are aligned with your goals. And yeah, I mean, you'll also make friends along the way, so that's also a plus. Yep.
All right, ma'am. So, like, this is a very good, like, I mean, there's another question which usually happens.
Hmm.
In hackathons, there are a lot of good projects, but sometimes good teams lose just because they couldn't present clearly
Hmm.
what they have built. And what do judges actually looking for just beyond the code?
Hmm. My take on this is, in the end, it's not about how much you coded; it's about how well you showed it. So the presentation segment is very important. You need to have someone on your team who is good at pitching, who is good at making good presentations, and that person should also know what you've actually built, so that you don't have one team member who doesn't know anything about the project but then pitching about it. So you need to make sure that every team member knows the inside out of your project. So one way that I feel good teams sometimes lose would be this, that the hook opening that they say, that needs to be very strong. Like the first 30 seconds are the one that makes a lot of difference. So what I usually do is we try to talk about someone who is facing this issue. You can just make a fictional character saying that uh, XYZ is facing this issue, and we are trying to cut down their time by 2 hours per day or something like that. So, and then you can start saying about your solution. And also, while showing your project or showing your demo, make sure that you're not going and showing every single page, every single tiny feature. You need to show the main core features only. And by mistake, also don't show the feature which is a little buggy. It doesn't look good when something breaks in front of the judges, right? So you need to make sure to show one core feature and try to convey what issues you had, how did you overcome them. But this part should be very short, like 1 minute or 1.5 minute, that we faced this issue but we were able to overcome it. That would be a great add-on. And then, yeah, UI, right? This is what I was forgetting. The UI needs to be really good. Someone who has built a very, very technical project might not win because someone else have made a better UI with lesser technical stuff. So always, always make sure that you have a good UI. Like if you're building a mobile app, I would just say don't don't build a mobile app. Make a website. That's much more easier. But if someone is a Flutter developer and they know Flutter very well, then for sure you can build a mobile app. But my take on this was that a lot of times the mobile apps crash exactly when you have to demo it, and you might not be able to even show the demo. So I feel that web apps are much more easier to build, and they will also have lesser possibility of crashing. And if you really feel that no, mobile app is the great option, then you can always record a demo video before and show the demo to judges with just one or two core features in the video. So that will keep the focus on the actual solution without all the remaining small tiny features which are not required really to be shown in the presentation. So yeah, that would be my take.
Okay, so like adding matrices is very important while pitching anything. We have
Yeah,
to show why we have built this.
yeah.
Right.
You need
So,
a story.
hmm, okay, yes, that impresses people and help to understand what we have actually built.
Yeah.
Okay. And ma'am, you have won hackathons, the national level Code for Good hackathon also, and you have worked at Visa and other global tech companies. So, how much hackathon impacts like on your overall career as well as resume?
Okay, I feel that when you are participating in a hackathon, you will end up adding one new project to your resume, which is really good for interviews, because once you're out of college, you don't really have a lot of internship experience. So what stands out is your projects. And when you say that I built this project in a hackathon, the recruiter will know that you are able to build things under pressure. Like there is, for example, when there is a 24-hour, I would definitely suggest all of you guys to also participate in like 24-hour hackathons, because that also is a different experience. But yeah, that basically makes your recruiter feel that you are able to solve problems under pressure. And when you create this project, you would of course go through a lot of problems and issues which you as a team will solve. So that shows that you're collaborating, which is very important in corporate. You need to be collaborative. And the second thing is it also shows that you are able to take a problem, solve it, brainstorm and solve it. So it shows that you're not giving up and leaving the project just like that. You're solving it to the end, and also making sure that you submit it. It's fine if you don't win the hackathon too, because you can still put that project on your resume, and that will be a very good add-on. So yeah,
Like putting it in, it shows the soft skills also. We have soft skill,
yeah, the
team
presentation,
collaboration.
yeah, and the presentation
Yeah.
skills will definitely improve. So you should always go for it.
Okay, so that was honestly incredible, ma'am. I think everyone got a mini master class on how to approach a hackathon.
Yeah,
So now we are entering the part everyone's been waiting for, the hack and learn segment. With that, I would love to hand over to you, Krishna ma'am, to take us on the AI journey.
sure. Let's begin. It might be a little technical, but I want all of you to know that I'm just going to give you a starting point. Give me a second to share the screen. So yeah, I was telling that this is just a starting point. You all need to go back, Google things up, watch YouTube, watch stuff, and learn more. Because this is not enough. This is just telling you that these AI things exist and they are great for usage. But I can't teach you everything in this session. So it would be great if you all can learn it on your own time. Anyway, so let's begin. This session is going to be more focused on not just the generative AI, which is more of like chatting based. We are going to be more into how AI can do things for you. So as engineers, you know that a brain without hands cannot build anything, right? So right now, most LLMs are just brains. They know a lot and they'll give you the answers directly, but they can't really touch your local files, your database, or your GitHub repo. And that's why today we are talking about agentic AI. Agentic AI is just like the simple agents in your other parts of life. If you see a travel agent, what do? They just go and get a ticket for you. The same way, agentic AI means the AI will go get the ticket for you. So this is shift from AI that talks to an AI that does things for you. Um, so we'll start with MCP, which is the base of all these AI, generative AI chatbots, right? So what does MCP really do? So for starters, MCP is an open standard that basically solves an issue. Now, what is the issue that it solves? When you had to connect a mouse, you had one port, and when you had to connect a printer, another port. But then you got that USB-C cable, right? Now, one plug, and you can connect all the devices. The same way, in AI, we have the same problem. If you want Gemini to talk to your like MySQL database, you will have to write a custom code. And if you want AI to talk to maybe micros, then you'll have to write a custom code. So all these APIs that you'll have to write. So every new thing that you want to connect to, you will have to write an API, which is a lot of work. So that's where model context protocol comes in. It's like HTTP that allows the AI host to talk to your server using a standard language. So it gets a bit technical, but this is the idea that your AI can go talk to database, or it can go talk to your local files, or um, anything that your the code base needs. So that's the idea. We'll If at any point you have any questions, you can drop in the chat and I will try to answer them. Okay, so we'll talk a bit about the MCP database toolkit, which is by Google. So this is an open source thing by Google, which basically allows you to do a instant connection. So Google Cloud provides a lot of databases, right? In the cloud, there's AlloyDB, there's BigQuery, there's Spanner, there's Cloud SQL. So all of these things, how do you really integrate it with your app? So it provides the toolkit which helps us to connect with everything on cloud. Like if you're building an app locally and you want to connect to cloud, how do you do that? You definitely have the uh, APIs to do it for you, but that would be a very tedious process. And that's why they made the MCP toolkit. So it basically looks like this. If you see this picture, it's going to explain you better that there is a MCP toolbox which can connect to your MySQL, the Postgres, or SQLite, and these are the normal databases. All of these AlloyDB, BigQuery, Bigtable, all of these are cloud databases which are there in Google Cloud. So those also you can connect, and these also you can connect. The Neo4j, if you have heard of that. So all of these are supported by MCP toolbox. So if you ever need to connect your AI app to a database, then you should use MCP toolkit. Um, Let me also share like a resource. So throughout the session, I'll keep sharing resources so you can check them out later on. Uh, Ronak asked, yes, I will come to that in a bit. I will also, yep, let's wait for that. Okay. Yeah. So this MCP toolbox basically has just one file which you have to write for. So it's a YAML file where you write where should you get the data from. So if you have a SQL database, the data should come from SQL database. And then you can ask your AI agent about things like get the top students of this college, or get the students who are there in computer science branch, and all of those questions you'll be able to ask to your AI agent, and it will know the answers because it's connected to your database. So that's the use of MCP. It allows you to connect to your data, which is very important part of your app. So moving on, I said the agent development kit. So this is where the agents come into play who are going to do things for you. When you write, if you remember your programming classes, you write things like if X, then Y, else do this. So that is more of a declarative thing. It's just doing X or Y. But then agents will actually go and figure out the steps and it will finish your task. So ADK is like a modular Python framework. Although it's a Python framework, you can also use it in TypeScript. You can also use it in Java, I think. It's there in the office, but I also use it with only Python. But you can surely go and explore whichever language you find is comfortable for you. So that is one thing that I didn't cover about the hackathons. Always use languages that you're comfortable with. If you know React, please use. If you know Next.js, use Next.js. If you know Python, just use Python and Flask and HTML for templates. So uh, do that because if you start to learn something new while the hackathon, you're surely losing a lot of time. That was one thing that I just remembered. Anyway, moving back to the agent development kit. So here you can build, you can evaluate, and you can deploy all the agents. And this is basically moving from prompting to structured software engineering practices. So one thing that I want to mention is it uses a pattern called React. So if you see over here, this React, it basically means is that when an agent gets task, it doesn't just execute. It follows a loop. So first it thinks, I need to find the user's last purchase. And then it calls the MCP tool that is connected to your database. And then it gets the data and then it shows it. So the other important feature is that you need is the human in the loop. So it says that here are here is the most important principle, right? That you always need to take care about the safety. The AI can't go delete your database or else it will be a huge issue. So ADK has a built-in human in the loop feature. You can specify what the tool, like you can say the tool that no, you cannot delete anything and you cannot make a purchase on my behalf. So those security features are really good that might help you in creating a safe application. It's very important in terms of security. And for sure, in a hackathon, you don't need to take care a lot about security, but you can tell all this in the presentation. So the judges know that, okay, you're taking care or you're thinking about the security at least, so that you can keep in the future scope. Okay, so this is a bit of the demo session. I'll just show you a few agents that I just created yesterday. So that's why it's like really easy, how easy it is to um, create agents. Okay. Yep. I hope you all can still see my screen. Yes. So over here, creating a very basic agent. It's called a greeting agent. And this is literally all the code that you need to write for building an agent. So if you can see, the basic agent is the folder, and then there is init.py and agent.py. Init.py just imports this agent, and agent.py has the main code where I'm just saying that you're a helpful agent and user, and then ask for user's name and greet them. So that's literally thing that you have to do to create an agent. Let me run that and show it to you. So ADK also provides a very simple UI that you can directly open inside your browser, and you can use it as the UI as is. But if you want it to be used as a backend API, you can do that as well. You can make it as a API and then call it in the UI. So as you can see, it's the server has started and we can access it in this URL. I think you won't be able to see it. One second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Oh, awesome. So now this is the basic UI of ADK, where you can click on basic agent because I have created that basic agent. I hope it works. Let's see. So yeah, it asks me what is my name. So I've created this basic agent to greet me with my name. So it remembers my name and it tells. So this is a very simple use case of agent development kit. But a more important and helpful use case would be to create multiple agents. Now, what do I mean by multiple agents is that suppose we are trying to create something which has 2 to 3 agents, and now this manager agent needs to decide which agent needs to answer. So over here, I've created 3 just very random to be honest, but you can also connect different agents. Here I have not connected. So the connection comes when maybe you're researching for a topic. So there can be a research agent which does the basic research, or there can be a particular agent which does the after the research is done, it sends the data to the other agent, which will write down the um, documentation for you. And then you can keep a third agent which will review the documentation for you, and then it will give you the final docs of research. So you can also connect the 3 agents, but I haven't connected them here. And yeah, here it's the same way. You have only the agent.py file. So over here, I'm adding, if it's a news analyst, it's going to give you important news, whatever the user is asking. So that could be one thing. And stock analyst gives you the current stock price. And I'm using a Python library here, which fetches the stock. You can use any open source Python library to do the same. And the funny nerd is basically give you a joke about related to programming. So these are some very small use cases for ADK. I'm assuming that some of you know Python, and for people who also don't know Python, I think it's really easy to learn ADK using Python, because as you can see, you can literally read the language, right? Get nerd joke, and then this is the sort of jokes, and it just picks one and then shows it. So let's try to run this thing. This is the same thing. You just have to type ADK web and it will run. And since this has 3 agents, we will be able to see that. I will just reload. Yeah, now you can see the manager is there. So that's the only agent. So let's see if it works. One thing that is important is you need to set the environment variable which has the Gemini API key. So there is the free tier where I think that is pretty much needed for a hackathon. You don't need much for a hackathon. So you can always go ahead and create an API. So I will show you how to create an API as well. So now it says, hi, how can I help you? I'll be like, tell me a joke. about programming. So let's see what it says. So it does transfer to the agent. So if you see over here, you'll be able to see. Uh, Let me click on this. Yeah, this is the one. So I wanted to show this. It shows you exactly how it's going and finding the answer to this. It goes to the funny nerd agent and gets the joke. So is the joke. But the next thing we can search is tell me the stock price or Visa maybe. Let's see. So same way again it transfers to the agent and it gives the stock price. So as you can see, it chooses stock analyst. So this way you will also be able to visualize what is going on and understand how things are going under the hood. So there's also evaluation. So evaluation, what it means that you're evaluating if the chatbot is doing well or is it doing incorrectly. So here what you'll be adding basically is you'll be adding some test cases, just like how you do test cases for um, normal programming, right? Same way you can create test cases here. So I think that is all for ADK. If you have any questions about ADK, we can do that, or else I will move on to the next topic. I can't see the chat. Okay, Sachin is asking, so we can create easily create full development team from, yeah, you basically should have one person who has expertise in one thing. Don't try to go for someone who claims to do everything. Always try to find people with a particular expertise. You don't really have to be expert, just need to have basic knowledge about the topic. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, Gemini CLI. I think this, if some of you really enjoy working on the terminal, then Gemini CLI is the best thing that can help you. So Gemini CLI is an agentic terminal sort of thing. It sits in your terminal. It helps you fix issues, or it helps you create code. It helps you to edit the code. It also helps you to run your app. So it's like a senior developer helping you whenever you have bugs. So we will also see a small demo about Gemini CLI. 1 second. Yeah. So I also do have a code lab which you all can try later on. And I think it was the same thing that Shelby also shared. This is a great resource to learn Gemini CLI. It is very, very beginner friendly, and you will be able to basically learn how to install and how to use it. Yeah. So let me share a quick demo about the same. Let's go back to our, yep. Can you see me?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So yes, this is how your Gemini CLI is going to look like when you click. Okay, let me exit this and show you how to open it. You just have to type Gemini. It's that simple. Okay, once it opens, and even the installation is pretty simple, to be honest. You just have to do npm install. If you have Node installed on the laptop, then installing Gemini is super easy. You just have to do npm install. Okay, so this is how it looks when you initially click Gemini. Obviously, I've done it in my ID, but you can always open your normal command prompt and do the same thing. It will create a whole new empty directory and then it will start coding a whole project from scratch as well. But since I didn't want to create a project from scratch, so I opened it here. So first you can always click on help to understand what all things are available for you to try out, what all commands are there. Right. There's quite a few things you can do using Gemini CLI. It's similar to your Copilot, but I would say better. Yeah, so for Gemini CLI to work properly, you need a file called gemini.md. So either you can create the gemini.md or you can Gemini to create it for you. Let me rename it to one and then I will ask it /init. So init creates a gemini.md file, will analyze the whole project and then create one whole markdown file with your coding styles, with your testing styles, if there is anything that is there. So right now I just have some bits of code in Python, so it will try to recognize that okay, this is Python and this is ADK. So this is the coding style that she wants to use. So that is one thing about it. And then there are other commands that you can use. Yeah, this command is really helpful if you want to connect it to any MCP servers that are built already in your workspace. And then there is a memory, which the memory basically keeps track of all the chat conversations that you've had and whatever questions you have about the past, you can ask them and then it will recollect and give you the answers. So all of this is super helpful, and I feel Gemini CLI should definitely help you with your bug issues that you have. If there is any issue in the terminal, you can just paste the error and it will give you a solution. And it will also edit files for you. And this model is very helpful. If you want to keep changing the Gemini models, you can always do that. If you want a image generation model, then you can use the Nano Banana model. For giving you a list of models, let me just share that link. Mm. So all the models have some limits, of course, because they are free right now. So make sure you use that much. Okay. So yeah, so it's asking that it wants to execute this say allow once, and it went through an error, and then it will again think about what is the error and then try to solve it. Don't know why it's glitching. Yeah, and then it can read the file. So you can see it's trying to read all these files now. Now it's asking if it's allowed to go in the multi-agent, and I'll say yes, you can check out what is there in the multi-agent. Now it will check out the whole multi-agent directory and try to figure it out what all is there and create the gemini.md file. So gemini.md file is very, very helpful for giving it context. As you all know that for an LLM, context is everything. So you need to give enough context to be able to um, for the LLM to be able to give you proper answers, right? Now finally it's trying to write to the gemini.md. Now it's asking if the change is allowed. So I'll say yes, and let's see how it is. So now it's saying, can I remove Gemini v1.md? I would say yes. Let's see. Okay, so it has created a MD file. and it has correctly recognized that I've done Python-based agent implementation of ADK. That is correct. And then it gives a brief about what is the first agent, and then it gives a brief about what is the second agent. So this is awesome. This is super helpful if you want to create more agents. For example, if I could try to say create another agent using ADK who helps me find hackathon ideas. So I think this will take a while. We can move on to the next concept and come back here to see what it has done. And yeah, we'll see how it does. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you all is about anti-gravity. So the ID that I am currently using is the anti-gravity ID, which is completely agentic ID. So it is sort of a fork of VS Code. I'm sure all of you are using VS Code, but this particular ID is built for agentic workflows. So this will basically help you create the whole project like completely in your ID. It will create it for you. We will also see how we'll be able to do that. So the main helpful modes of anti-gravity are planning mode, flash mode, and one more is the agentic browser. So one of the most craziest things about anti-gravity is that if you paste a URL in anti-gravity, it will go look at the whole website and it can
તો
create
એક
whole
વાત નહીં શાંતિ છે એક પેપર તો હજી ગયો આ ખાલી 3 પેપર જ રહ્યા.
AI has done something. Okay, it's asking me. Yeah, I mean, you can always say that allow for this session, and then it will probably. Okay, so coming back to the agent anti-gravity browser. So when you open the browser, right? Second, yeah, you will have something called a agent manager. So this is an agent manager. So over here, there's an inbox, and I think this was the previous conversation that I had. I was trying to fix bugs and it was able to fix it. So there's a start conversation. You have all of these models completely for free. Everything is free over here right now. And there is a planning mode, there's a fast mode. Planning mode, you can use it for creating a whole app from 0 to 1. And fast mode is in case you have issues like I had issues before. So those issues you can ask the agent to help you solve. So that is one thing. Now the playground, if we go to, this is a playground. So if you have a very tiny app idea, which you're not sure if it's going to work, if it's going to be good, then you can try to put it into the playground. Once you put it into the playground, it will give you a very small prototype of it, which you'll be able to use it and test it and then see if you want it as a full app, then it will create a folder for you and it will create the whole app. So I don't really have a lot of ideas right now, but yeah, I mean, we could try make an app which helps students get ideas for hackathons. This is very very generic. Let's see what it does. Yeah, such things keep happening since the it is free for all of us, then we will sometimes have face such issues. Anyways, if you are interested into exploring agent development kit and all of this, I think I've added links for everything. I'm also adding links for anti-gravity. Mm, okay, oops. You can always check out how to use it. And I would definitely say for your hackathon, once you get your idea built from Lovable, you can try to get it into anti-gravity to build your backend. So let me see if the Gemini has created anything. Okay. Yep. Okay, so it has created a hackathon agent. As its code is written by Gemini. But it won't work because it hasn't used my environment.py. Okay, it's running into issues, and I know what the issue is. Obviously, the port is already using over here. This is the port already in use. But yeah, it has also figured out the issue. Let's see. If you always run into issues, you can uh, go back to Gemini CLI, or you can ask in the anti-gravity that why is there this issue, and you can solve it. Like, don't try to keep using the same agent all the time because it might or might not work out. So try and use different AI models because we all know that there is hallucination issue with the LLMs. So you always need to give a good enough context, and only then it will be able to help you. So always try to give context to your agent. But anyway, it was able to create a pretty good agent, that is get agent idea. So it also gave you a lot of themes that you can try. That's good. Yep. And if you go through more issues, the best way is YouTube or Stack Overflow, and go the old school way. Try to figure out what the issues might be. Um, Try to deal it with like a developer. We as developers need to learn how to debug. The best way to debug is go on Google, and definitely same the issues might be faced by other developers, and you will find a GitHub issue or you will find a Stack Overflow and you can solve it. But again, in a hackathon, if you're facing an issue for more than like maybe 1 or 2 hours, then it's time for you to drop that feature. Try to figure out another feature and work on it. Don't waste a lot of time on the same issue. So yes, that was okay. One more thing I forgot to add. If you are for prototyping, right? So the best way to prototype is Google AI Studio, which is again another free resource which you can use. So to be honest, I did this only yesterday. Don't know if it's still working, but yeah, gave this prompt saying build a creative writing interface where users can upload an initial image, and then the AI will analyze this image, and then it will give a starting point of a story. So I'm basically trying to write a story. Now this is the image that I'm giving. Let us see if it works. Because Google Studio is absolutely the best thing. Let me share the link to Google AI Studio. Yeah, so it has generated story starting for us. So this is the point. And I've also included a read aloud feature, which will read aloud for you, like the opening. So all of this for a normal person who doesn't know a lot of coding, it's hard to write all of this code. And this was literally like I finished it in 10 minutes. And it's taking time to load. But yeah, all of this, I didn't write a single line of code, which is absolutely crazy. it was able to write down all of this code. Okay, it's loading. Oops. Let's try again. So it is trying to generate something, but before that, I want to show you how the AI Studio's landing page look like. So this is Google AI Studio's landing page. And like I was saying initially, right, how can you get your API key? So it's right here, get API key. You can click on this and there will be a create API key. If I had API keys, they would be here. Then you can click on the create API key. You can name it as Hackathon maybe. And you have to select a cloud project. So I have created a Google Cloud project. To create the Google Cloud project, you need to go to Cloud Console, which is, let me share that link as well. So even there, you can just create a project for free. So this is the URL to create a new project. You can create a new project and then click that project and then click on create key. And then it will be able to use that key for your project. So this is the key. Okay, now going back to the dashboard. This is the dashboard where you can build AI apps, you can chat with models. And there is also one really nice thing which I liked, which was gallery. Gallery is the place where there are existing apps that people have built. So you can go even here to find your hackathon ideas. If anything seems interesting, you can use that. And then you can start building something on your own. And if you don't have an idea, you can click on I'm feeling lucky. It will give a suggestion. So this is build a children's coloring book generator. And yeah, it will create all of this using Nano Banana. And yeah, this is super simple and easy way to prototype any idea that you have. You can also create your portfolios using Google AI Studio. It's definitely super fast and helpful. So if I go back to the story thing that I created yesterday, one second. This was, by the way, just one prompt, and it did not run into errors. It did not cause any issues. It was able to do it in just one prompt. So think about all the things that you can do using Google AI Studio. Don't know if it's able to read it. It was able to read it yesterday. But anyway, with that, I think
The ancient woods did not give up their secrets easily. Yet here, the tangled root.
I'm not sure if you guys are able to hear, but I can hear it. So yeah, if you want to create a conversational app, then for sure try to use the Google AI Studio. That will give you the starting point, and then you can download the files and use anti-gravity to create a backend, and you can take it forward from that. Now with AI, I think hackathons have become really fun to create the application super easily, and the only point where you're going to be different if you have a great idea. So try to brainstorm, try to give more time thinking about the idea because coding has become easier. So yeah, with that, I would say that my presentation is done, but I see that there are some questions. So let me check. So Ronak, I think I've answered your question. If you want to create a project which is agentic, then you should definitely use agent development kit. Um, okay, so Sachin, I have answered. Dhruv, you have any idea about agent which has eyes on your screen and do work behalf you, something like complete your English? I don't think there is an agent that can do that. You can try to build one for you, but as I said, anti-gravity can look into your browser. It can look at the website. So maybe if you do have a link, then you can put it into anti-gravity and tell that solve the questions for me in this website. If it works, let me know because I haven't tried it yet. Okay. Then Ronak says, should we learn first Gen AI or Agentic AI? Um, I think there's not much to learn in Gen AI. Gen AI is um LLM based. If you're definitely interested in ML, machine learning, then you should learn about generative AI because there you will understand how LLMs are working, how is the architecture helping it to give answers so fast, and what is the base model, and all of those technical things. So that is Gen AI. But if you're more into development, then you should learn Agentic AI, where you can use the agents to do things for you, which I think is going to be the future. Like, so I think that is all the questions there are. If anyone has any other question, we can answer them as well. Yep.
Wow, ma'am, you really covered like so much in just an hour. ACP, ADK, MCP, anti-gravity, Gemini CLI, Google AI Studio, and even those hackathon insights. I
Yeah.
think now everyone here got kind of clarity we usually don't get from YouTube videos or docs.
Mm.
So, ma'am, genuinely want to thank you, especially taking out this time during your holidays. Like, it's really meant a lot of us.
Yeah, no problem. And I would urge all of you to go ahead and try all of these applications that are there. You should try and explore as much as you can. You are currently in college. I think this is the best time to learn more about what is going on in the space of AI. And it will be helpful for you in your interviews as well if you're on the forefront and you know about the changes, about the new apps that are coming up because now they also see how well you're trying to use AI along with the development. So yeah,
Exactly. Ma'am, we also have some questions in chat.
right. So Sarthak says, how does ADK ensure hallucination control? So I think ADK is more on the agentic terms. So if you're trying to do a problem, if you're asking a question to the agent, its sole way is to go and give it to another sub agent which is going to answer a question for you. So it depends on you how you create that prompt. Like if you remember, I was showing you how the agent's prompts are created, right? um, so it's really important if you want to solve the issue of hallucination, this prompt needs to be super clear. So that's one way that you can solve hallucination. But if you're like tools over here, the tool is news analyst. But if you're using tools which go to your database, then that will also reduce hallucination because when you go into the database to find out the answers, you get the exactly correct answers instead of going and searching the whole Google for some answer. You're going to get the exact answer that you need. So that would be my 2 cents on it. But yeah, ADK is more focused on creating agents. The issue of hallucination comes when you're using a particular LLM to maybe solve an issue, solve a coding bug, fix a bug. So for those issues, you do get hallucination. And I think people are still solving the hallucination problem. We haven't found a good solution for it. So yeah. And there is one more. Have you tried Google Opal or N8? I don't know in what context you're trying to ask, but Google, obviously, I use Gemini. Opal, I use it in my work, so we do have the enterprise version, and Opal is really good at solving coding bugs and fixes. N8N comes where you need a workflow, suppose connecting your emails to your Google Calendar and things like that. So I haven't tried it myself, but I do know about them a little. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, ma'am, for answering all the questions. Before we go ahead, I want to capture this moment. I would like to request all of you to turn on your camera. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you everyone for turning on your cameras. And one more thing to attend this, you may share your learnings from today's session on LinkedIn as well. And also, ma'am, can we share your LinkedIn in the chat box?
Sure. Do tag me. And yeah, I think that's a really good thing to keep posting on LinkedIn, because a lot of recruiters do reach out to you if your LinkedIn is interesting about this hackathon. So put up anything and everything. It will help you jobs as well.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. And with that, we are now moving forward to the most interactive part of this session. And for that, I am passing it over to Kalpana to take the lead from here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalvi. And a huge thank you to Krishna ma'am for taking out her precious time to give us and our students such insightful information over how to choose our teammates and how to choose a problem statement, how important pitching is in a hackathon, what tools we might use, how to learn AI, Agentic AI, ADK. It all would help, I'm sure, our participants in our upcoming hackathon